Today you will learn how to write the linear equations in slope-intercept form, and this is 5.1, writing linear equations in slope-intercept form. Make sure that you are writing the lesson number, the title, and everything that follows. The question is asking you to write an equation with the given slope and the y-intercept. The slope is 1, so the slope, which is your m, is 1. The y-intercept is 5. The y-intercept is your b, which is 5. So your slope is 1, your y-intercept is b, which is 5. So remember the slope-intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus b. So all you need to do is at this point, write y equals, replace the number for the slope and replace the number for the y-intercept. So your m is 1, which will be 1 times x plus 5. So I'm getting the numbers from here. If I highlight and show you, this m is what I'm replacing here to here, and the y-intercept, which is b, I'm replacing from here to here. I kept the y, I kept the x. Nothing changes. So basically the equation is going to be y equals x plus 5, and that is the answer. Now question number 9, which equation represents a line with a slope of -1 and y-intercept of 2? So the slope is given to be as -1 and the y-intercept is 2. So your b in this case is going to be 2. So once again you have the equation y equals mx plus b, and you have y equals, replace m by -1x plus 2, which basically is y equals -x plus 2, and the correct answer in this case is A. Question number 19. You are given a graph and you're given 2 points on the graph and you're asked to write an equation using the graph. You are going to find many questions on your EOC where you're given the graph and you're asked to write the equation. It does not matter what method you use for writing an equation. So let's use the slope. So you got -1, 0 and 0, 4. So I'm going to write it as -1, 0 and 0, 4. So I want to find the slope. Find the slope first. So I'm going to call this as x1, y1, x2, y2. My first point of x, my first point of y, second x, second y. So the slope formula is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, and replace the numbers in the correct spot. So your y2 is 4 minus y1 is 0, your x2 is 0 minus, and x1 is also a -1. This is the placement that most of the students make a mistake, so make sure that you're writing the minus sign which comes from the formula, and then x1, which is a -1 or a -1, you stick it inside a parenthesis. Solving this is going to be 4 and 0 plus 1, which is going to be 4 over 1, so which basically is going to give you your slope to be as 4. 4 divided by 1 is going to give you just a 4. So once you get your slope as 4, now let's figure out the y-intercept. The y-intercept in this case is so easy to figure out by looking at the points. The y-intercept you get when your x is 0. So your 4 is your y-intercept. So your b in this case is 4. Remember the y-intercept. The y-intercept is when your x is a 0. So you get your y-intercept as a 4 and your slope as 4. So now you have m and b. So all you need to do is y equals mx plus b. You are asked to write an equation. So all you need to do is plug in the numbers. So which is going to be 4x plus 4, and that is the answer. Now watch the numbers that I replaced. Pause the video, rewind the video if you need to. M, I replace it here, which is 4, I just substituted 4. And the y-intercept b, which is a 4, I just substitute here as 4. Let's focus on question number 26. You are given 2 points and you are asked to write an equation. That is a question. You are guaranteed to get a question on your EOC where you will be given 2 points and you are asked to write an equation. So let's find the slope first. Step number 1. Find the slope. So I'm going to call this point as x1, y1, x2, y2. Please make sure that you guys are labeling the points as well. So the formula to find this will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So let's do the calculations. Y2 in this case is negative 4 minus negative 4. Now watch this one. This is a step where most of the students make a mistake. Negative 4 is here and the minus sign comes from the formula. That minus sign is what gets the question wrong for many students. And when y1 is a negative 4, which I am putting it inside a parenthesis, divided by x2 is a 0 minus x1 is a 2. If it is a positive number, you are completely fine with that. But if it is a negative number that you have in there, please make sure that you put it inside a parenthesis. So now the numerator is going to be negative 4. Two negatives becomes a positive over negative 2. Negative 4 plus 4 is going to give you a 0 divided by negative 2, which is going to give you a 0. So which basically means your slope in this case is going to be a 0. Slope is a 0. So which is what we got from here. So once you get the slope is 0, let's figure out what the y-intercept is. Now going back to this question, where you are given the points, I am looking at 0, negative 4. This will be my y-intercept because my x is a 0. If you want to find the y-intercept, your x has to be a 0. That is the point that touches a line on the x-axis. So the y-intercept in this case is going to be negative 4, which basically means now you got your equation y equals mx plus b, and you got y equals 0 times x negative 4, so which means y is equal to negative 4. Now once you get this equation, your job is done. But down the line, if you are thinking like, okay, how does a graph look like this for this equation? Your graph in this case is going to be at the y point of negative 4. If this is my negative 4, my line is going to be a horizontal line. Now remember, for a horizontal line, your slope is going to be a 0, which is what you proved it, that your slope is 0. Question number 31, a similar question except you are given the linear function, which is simple and nothing to worry about. So let's focus on here. F of 0 and 7. So which basically means remember the f of x. So your f of x is nothing but your y. So your y in this case is 7. And your x in this case is 0. Let me highlight and show you where I'm getting the x value. My x is 0. So basically I got the point 0, 7. Let's focus on here. F of 3 equals 1. So which basically means f of x is equal to 1, which is nothing but my y. Your f of x is your y. Remember this connection. And if you focus on your x value to highlight and match them, your x is 3. So which means the value is going to be 3, 1. Now you got your 2 points. So you get x1, y1, x2, y2, and find the slope, which will be y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, which is going to give me negative 6 over 3, which is negative 2. So I got my slope to be as negative 2. And if I remove everything out of the way and look at the original question, and this was the point which is 0, 7, and my y-intercept b in this case is going to be a 7 because my y-intercept b is only a 7 provided my x is a 0. So this is the only point where my x is a 0. So this has got to be my y-intercept where the line meets the y-axis. So all I need to do is y equals mx plus b. Substitute the numbers in the correct spot. Minus 2x plus 7, and this is the answer. And if I let me finish this point, which is 3, 1, which you don't actually need it for the y-intercept. So this is the equation, y equals negative 2x plus 7.